and welcome to the SciFirst MovieTalk episode. So in this episode, I will be discussing Disney's 1942 animated classic, Bambi. Their fifth such animated classic based on the 1923 book, Bambi, A Life in the Woods, by Austrian author Felix Salten. So, this movie is basically all about the life and tribulations, if you like, of one young fawn, Bambi, who we follow from his very first day as the new prince of the forest to his first skating lesson, right through to heartbreaking tragedy, and of course, falling in love. As a youngster, as voiced in different stages of his development by Bobby Stewart, Donnie Dunagan and Hardy Albright, Bambi meets a whole host of adorable and endearing characters. From the Tell It Like It Is rabbit, Thumper, as voiced by Peter Ben and Tim Davis, to the very bashful Flower, a skunk, basically, as voiced by Stan Alexander and Tim Davis. Brought up by his mother, as voiced by Paula Winslow, Bambi learns how life in the forest works and the relationship he has with the world around him. Sometimes playful, sometimes harsh, and once with a very tragic consequences. Losing his mother when they cross paths of a hunter in the forest. Distraught, Bambi is then brought up by his father, as voiced by Fred Shields. As he matures, Bambi, now voiced by John Sutherland, returns to his forest home and reunites with his old friends, Thumper, as now voiced by Sam Edwards, and Flower, as now voiced by Sterling Holloway, who now learn what it is like to be in love, and that sometimes you have to fight, quite literally in Bambi's case, for the ones you love. So, the one thing that stands out with this movie above all else is the animation, absolutely. It is simply exquisite for its time, building very much on and making very good use of the groundbreaking and pioneering techniques developed for 1937's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The scenery, forest, and landscapes, they are breathtakingly detailed, and some of the scenes involving kind of like the rain and the snow, they have a real sort of lifelike quality and a real depth and quality to them. Fantastic. The overall movie is very simple, all told, charming, but basic. It doesn't really have a plot to speak of. It's kind of more of a series of tales and key moments in Bambi's life. It's not an anthology style of film, however, and to be honest, given the kind of premise of the film overall, each of the elements, feel very much part of the story. They really do, with kind of very little filler material that you kind of see in a number of the earlier Disneys. The lack of a plot does, however, make the film feel a lot longer and more drawn out than it actually is. There are a few key moments which kind of raise the tension. In fact, quite a bit. But overall, you always keep thinking that the film will kind of go somewhere, when in actuality, it doesn't. It doesn't really do anything at all but tell a charming tale of life in the forest. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. The film has a number of endearing characters who we meet along Bambi's journey. And it is fantastic to see the forest come alive at the beginning of the movie to kind of welcome Bambi into the world. It certainly projects a grand kind of feeling of majesty for the deer, giving them a revered status within the forest. Beloved and respected amongst all of the woodland creatures, and kind of this gives the film a real kind of regal and distinguished feel. It really does make you believe in these characters, and the attention to detail, especially with the deer, is fantastic. capturing their every move with expert finesse. Along with the tones of the movie, the soundtrack is outstanding too. The songs are more incidental and accompaniment than the film being a musical overall. It's not that at all. They are used more to kind of convey the sounds of the forest and the mood of the nature in and around, being delightfully playful in light in step as we see Bambi develop and moving more into like a broody, sharp and responsive kind of tone when needed to kind of show that the stark contrast of nature in the film. However, you know, how in the blink of an eye you can go from real peaceful tranquility and joyous frolicking all around the forest to despair, plight and thunderous rage. All told, it is actually probably one of the most honest depictions of life represented in an early Disney movie. Of course, minus the talking animals. It brings the creatures of the forest to life in a real kind of captivating way, which draws you in to how they live, they laugh, love and cry. It tries to balance the soft, light and fluffy elements of the baby animals and naive mishaps along the way with the sharp, harsh reality that is a big part of nature. And, of course, the circle of life that ensures that all living things in the natural world are a part of. Depicting the life of the forest through the changing seasons as it goes. In this respect, it does play out more like a nature programme, to be quite fair. Well, from Walt's perspective anyway. Its honest approach does lead to what has become one of the saddest and heart-wrenching moments in any Disney film I have ever seen. I won't spoil it for you. I think I might have done already, but I won't spoil it again for you if you haven't seen the film. But let's just say that there is quite a moving moment which builds up tension and will certainly have you holding your breath. Although, really the power of that moment is somewhat fleeting, to be fair, and almost kind of glossed over thereafter, in a very swift attempt to bring back the softness the movie had prior. The movie is also quite strong. It's like quite a strong message with regards to hunting and the effect that humans have on the balance in the forest and how this kind of impacts the lives of the creatures therein. In fact, a simple one-line statement is given by Bambi's mother on this respect in response to the perceived danger of a gunshot. Man was in the forest. A simple yet powerful statement on and how oh so true, very poignant even to this day. The mindless devastation and destruction humankind brings is exemplified in the final sequence of the movie in yet another powerful sequence of events that sees Bambi's courage and conviction tested to the extreme. So overall, Bambi is a very, very charming tale, all told. So, okay, there isn't much in the way of a plot, but it does make up for this to some extent with a number of very endearing moments and some very, very lovable and adorable characters. It does try to be honest in its depiction of the natural world. Well, for a Disney, trying to give the balance kind of between light and dark, between the softness of cute baby characters and talking animals against the harsh, sharp reality of nature itself and, most certainly, humankind. So, that brings me to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like. Please do hit that subscribe button for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and other movie-related content. Absolutely loved having you here at SciFirst MovieTalk. We would definitely love to have you back. But most of all, thank you very much for watching. But yes, goodbye. Hope to see you again.